During the summer of 2023, we moved to a remote Scottish Hebridean island to be its only two residents, along with our two pet sheep and pair of cats. These remote islands seem to retain an old-fashioned rhythm and a charm which we find encouraging us to live a more frugal and simple life, the way man was perhaps more intended to. We have an ancient stone cottage to restore, veggies to grow, livestock to build up, fish to catch and smoke, a boat to buy, and much more. Step back in time with us at the Scottish Isle. We call this the sand pit because there's a pit and there's a pile of sand next to it. It's not Yates, but it works.
It's natural sand. It's natural, coarse, light brown sand.
And this is building sand, which has obviously been previously used. We're going to be taking this and a bag of concrete down to the cottage to finish up the steps in the next few days. We're waiting for a tarp to arrive, aren't we, so that we can cover it when we do it. So we have to wait for that first. See the deer track?
Yep.
This is
That's the crossing point on the boats.
Jinx.
Do you know, I think that there might be some form of settlement up on that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Look how high it is.
Yeah,
That's a lot higher than I thought it was.
I think you'd be climbing that by yourself.
So we're going to have to bring the trailer over here, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I'll just uncouple it and. Well, do you want to put it here and then I'll reverse the cord?
We should have brought a bucket with us.
So we need 5 times the amount of one of those wee bags.
Yeah, but are we going to be using the whole bag? Remember, when it's mixed with this, it's a lot of cement.
So do you think that's enough?
Do 5 more.
5?
Yes.
5 is the number of counting. 6 is way out.
I've lost count. I've done 1. How many have you done? Is that it?
Mine's the last one.
Well, I'm glad you're driving this down to the cottage. I'm not.
God, that's over.
Poor sheep, hate the quad.
Scared the sheep.
Bree, come back.
Right, so what's the plan?
Just offload it into the wheelbarrow, I guess. We just need to wait for the tarp. Can't be laying concrete and having it hailstone.
I mean, just look how wet it is. It's like cascading down that like second to last step.
Well, at least we've got everything here.
That's the whole process, isn't it? Getting it down here, so as soon as we get like a couple of dry days, we can just crack on with it.
And then it'll be officially finished.
Officially finished.
Officially. Wherever we unload this, the wheelbarrow kind of needs to stay because the wheelbarrow wheel is gubbed.
What, it's flat?
Yeah. There's a big hole in it.
Why did that happen?
Well, I don't know, I just saw it.
Well, the last time I used that wheelbarrow was to fill it with stones that I put on the cairn for the heron, and it was fine.
Well, as I say, we can just leave the wheelbarrow over there.
We need 2 new wheelbarrows. These wheelbarrows are just like completely knackered now.
Do you want me to take the back off?
Yes, that's what I want to do. This all needs spraying down, doesn't it? Got most of it.
Yeah, that's going to be plenty, isn't it? More than enough. Let me show you what's happening here. Here are some loofah plants still to emerge. These are broccoli. These are cauliflower, wakey wakey guys. All the onion seedlings coming out at the back. And then here, this is all the creeping thyme, which is just starting to poke its head up. Just in various tiny little places. And today I'm just going to plant some more seeds. I'm going to plant some tomato today. I'm not going to go mad with the tomatoes for this year because there's only so much that I know that I can get done before the growing season really starts. So I'm just going to plant a few tomato plants and I think I'll try and grow them in a little lean-to greenhouse up the side of the cottage, but I'm not entirely sure yet. A friend of mine in America gave me an amazing way of preserving cherry tomatoes. Sounds delicious, so this is exactly the reason I've bought tomatoes this year. I wasn't planning on doing it. I'll go for 5, and then if 3 come up, that will be plenty for now. It's been hailstoning today. I don't have a rose for this watering can, so I'm just going to use this little pot. Obviously, I'm not going to leave all of these plants in this one pot. I'm going to separate them out. Such a joy watching seeds grow.
What are you doing?
Making placemats.
What the hell is that you've got on your head?
I don't know what you're referring to. I feel like it's a trip hazard. We've decided to take these off, these boards, so that we can properly finish the wall and have this completely exposed. Which will mean probably sanding down more. Scott will be happy about that. We want to preserve these boards just in case we can use them for something else, because they're quite sweet. They've got some writing on them, which I'll do a close-up of and show you. Crack on and do that today. These super old nails. Okay, this is going to be the messiest bit, I reckon.
So this is your completed window.
What do you think?
Yes. Now I've seen it like this. I prefer it, yeah. It looks far more traditional.
There was a good amount of space lost with how it was boarded out.
Yeah, it's much bigger. And it is letting more lighting.
And the other thing is that is a massive amount of framing. I know it's old frame and then new frame in the middle, but you know, if that was window, you'd be getting more lighting again. But I like these shims. It's like a dinosaur spine. Can you see them? A nice analogy to give the old dinosaur of a building. So yes, Jim is coming next week and he's going to show us a technique to finish this exactly how we want it. This means more sanding for you.
I need to explain who Jim is because a lot of people watching this won't know who he is.
We mentioned him a couple of episodes back. He's a good friend. He's a stonemason, and he really knows his stuff. So he's going to show us how to finish this like the old crofts were finished, and then we're going to put. We were thinking lime wash over the top, but we're going to do breathable paint instead. It needs to be breathable in these old houses, but lime wash needs redone every year, and it stains. And if you rub against it, it marks your clothing white. So. Breathable paint on top.
In the next few days, all of that, most of that's behind you on the wall. Render, sorry. It's all coming off.
Yep. Well, that's another thing off the list.
That's the thing. We thought that was oak, but it's not. It's pitch pine.
Yeah, it's a softwood, which explains the wood wormholes. But I guess they used what they had to hand.
It's confusing because nearly every time I've ever seen a lintel in like an old house, it's been oak, because for obvious reasons. But no, it's pitch pine. Both of them.
They'll stain up.
Yeah. Well, I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Shame about the concrete.
Oh, I know a hammer that has a date with that concrete. Got a story to tell you.
A nice spot for a story.
You'll have to help me with the details. We're down at the boathouse, aren't we?
We are.
And this is the old mooring place for the boats that used to come to the island on way back.
Yeah.
Well, I saw this. See that? Old mooring point. And you know what immediately came to mind when I saw it?
Tell me.
Story of Olive. When she came down here all those years ago.
Oh yes, the horse dealer.
Have we spoken about this on the channel?
No,
I think we've spoken about it with the Patreons, haven't we?
I think the Patreons know, yeah.
So the guy saw in an advertisement somewhere.
Horse for sale. So that this horse dealer from Inverness decided to visit the island to try and buy one of Olive's horses that was for sale.
And as soon as I saw that, I thought this is the mooring point where they would have pulled the boat up. So he came all the way down from Inverness, then he got the boat from...
This was back in the day, so it was a train all the way from Inverness to the local station.
Yeah.
And then a boat round to, well, the local town, and then a rowboat.
And then a rowboat. So he came round here with somebody we know, who was a young lad at the time, yeah? And so he was the one that told us the story. So they came up here, they'd have moored the boat here, and he got out, and what was Olive doing?
She had a couple of dinghies that were tangled up in line in this little bay here, and she was furiously trying to untangle these two little dinghies from the ropes. And this horse dealer introduced himself and said, "Excuse me, I'm here to look at your horse for sale." And he was met with silence.
Well, yeah, she was basically, well, the chap it told us as a young lad, he could see that she was absolutely furious with these boats, just like really fuming because she couldn't sort it out. So the guy moors up at the wrong time. She's fiddling about. He says, "I'm so and so. I've come to have a look at the horse." And she's like, whatever, carries on doing what she's doing. He asks her again a few moments later, says, could we have a look at the horse? And she carries on, And then the third time he asks, what did she say?
"The horse is not for sale." So back in the boat, rode round to the local village, puff a boat all the way back to the train station, train all the way back to
Inverness with no horse. And the chap said he just pushed his luck once too far with her.
Yeah, he said he was thinking, "Oh, don't ask her again."
But this is the point. See, this is where I think all that took place, because it's exactly what came to mind when I saw this like old mooring point, that this is where that would have taken place. So yeah, all the way back to Inverness.
Some backdrop behind you.
Do you think she used the amphibious car here?
No.
That was only over on the other side of the island?
I think it would be suicide to use it here.
Have we spoken about her amphibious car?
To the patrons we have.
But not here? Mm-mm. She had, in the 1960s, she had a turquoise blue amphibious car that she used to use to get across where you've seen us rowing across. She used to use her car to get across there. And
one of the previous caretakers of the island, Ewan, he told us that he used to go on shopping excursions with her, and he would get told to climb into the back seat and fetch a couple of paddles out from under the back seat just in case the engine stopped. And he said he never had the heart to tell her that those paddles aren't going to steer the weight of an amphibious car anywhere. They're going to get swept out to sea.
If that car stops, it's just going to eventually sink.
And eventually it got holes in it. It went to Fort William to a garage to be repaired. They could never find the parts to repair it, and it just stayed there and rotted. And that was the end of
That was the end of the car. Have we got a photograph? We have, haven't we?
Yeah.
Of what it looked like.
Yeah.
So we'll put that on the screen now. It's a right Austin Powers, James Bond.
Yes. It's great.
Olive. Many stories of Olive.
Well, we have to get an amphibious car, Scott. It's one for the channel. Scott told me he was out this morning and he's found another place that the deer are breaching the fence. actively pushing it down and crawling under it and over it. So I'm going to go and check it out, but I'm also going to stick this bad boy up here. Thank you for this gift, by the way. We'll see what they're up to. I don't know what else to say. Little blighters. Right, that is the spot in the fence that we mended. Here is the highway, the M6, or maybe it should be called the D6. And Scott said just further down here, they've, well, they had pushed the fence down. Yeah, there's a lot more tracks and things than when we were last here. He said where the metal pole is, they had pushed it over. Aye, you can see it's broken, and that fence has obviously been trampled. So I'm going to set up a camera around about here, film them. I think that's as good as it's going to get. Well, let's see what they're up to.
That's just 24 hours after you put this up, yeah?
No files.
Well, that's
But-
good though, isn't it?
But the gate, they haven't touched the fence, although they were all down by the cottage last night, so. But yeah, anyway. See what happens tonight. Well, I forgot your birthday this year.
Yeah, you did.
It was like 2 weeks before I realised that it had been and gone. But that's
Wasn't it longer than that?
no. But that's being here. That's the time thing. Being here, everything just the rhythm of things is absorbing. You kind of don't notice the dates passing.
I was just thinking the camera's on, so Jeeves is here.
Yeah. You all right, Jeeves?
Well, we were supposed to, in this episode, have the water tanks.
Done.
But again, delivery's failed. I mean, that's still not here, is it? We're waiting on a tap. We can't do it until we get this tap.
I got a connector to put on a tap to put on the side of it, but I didn't realise till the last minute it doesn't have a stopper on it, so it's kind of essential.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Do you know when I took the rubbish? The deer had been at the fence again.
Was it down?
No. Do you know where you put the camera? Is it still there?
Yeah.
Well, they're not trying to pull it down there anymore.
Where did they go in instead?
Like to the right hand side of if you're looking at the fence where the camera's pointed, to the right hand side, they pushed a gap. You know, there's two. For whatever reason, there's two lots of fencing. There's not one it has to be tied together.
Yeah.
They pushed it open. They're coming in and out of there. They pulled it all down. So I've put it together, but it needs all tying up. Yeah, I was just going past. I was coming back on the quad. And I was like, hang on a minute. Do you know where the gate is? Come through the gate. Yeah, just on the right hand side. There's like if the fence is like that, they've done that, pulled that bit down. We're getting.
I'm just thinking venison curry,
I think it's funny.
venison sausage.
I think it's quite funny, to be honest. It's like we will get in, but I mean, there is nothing in the fence that isn't outside the fence. Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, but this is it. It's like when it gets to the point where there's plenty for them to eat, they can't get in because all the foliage is all over
All
the
the
place.
bracken and everything.
So it's like, so all that needs to happen is we just need to, wire or cable tie that piece, and they're not going to get in. It's done. It's sorted. It's all right now. They won't get in now, but it just made me laugh when I saw it.
Tenacious.
It's just like you said before. Why? What? Why? But it's a game. I'm sure it's a game to them. It just is. It's like, let's get in here.
Like naughty teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it feels like to me. The pine martens have been around, scaring the sheep.
Scaring everyone. Scaring the cats.
He's got more tenacious, hasn't he? He's getting more daring. He's coming out during the daylight hours and he's just running around. It's quite funny seeing him run about.
Our one-eyed pine marten called Martin. Yeah, he's got a funny sort of way of walking as well. It's almost like a reverse moonwalk.
How's that work then? That's...
Yeah, that's it. He like...
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have to film him and put like Billie Jean. Oh, we can't because we'll get a copyright strike.
Well, we can play it backwards because it's a reverse moonwalk. Maybe there'll be some sort of message in it.
There should be some satanic message when you play music backwards.
Yeah, he was out in broad daylight yesterday, just doing the sort of meerkat thing and looking for food. Just he was climbing up on Moss Mountain and
That's right. He was on he's on Starlink, wasn't he?
maybe he's checking it out for his own. I was going to say burrow, but they have nests in trees, don't they?
We had our first outage with Starlink, didn't we?
When it was really hot a couple of days
it was
ago.
really, really hot. The hottest day we've had so far, and it was having a real hard time calibrating itself. It was probably going for an update, but it resolved itself pretty quickly. But that's the first time, and it was, what was it? It did it twice for about 15 minutes, didn't it? But that is it since we installed it.
It did say heating on it, so I wondered if
Yeah.
it was trying to cool itself down or something and got stuck.
I don't.
But we just unplug it and plug it back in again. It works fine.
It can't overheat. They have these things in the desert. But whatever it was the first outage we've had, but it was, like I said, just 2 15-minute periods. That's another thing. We found out we've still got another couple of exploration holes to dig, but we're now assuming that the slabs, the paving, doesn't come all the way to the cottage.
Wah, wah, wah. It's a bit deflating, but we kind of thought, well,
We can do it ourselves.
if we just do one slab every so often,
Yep.
it'll eventually reach the house.
And it would be better from a drainage perspective. We've still got to do something like a French drain or something to drain the water off, because that path is constantly just waterlogged now. It was not like that when we first got here.
Well, it was weather like this for months before we got here, I think. So,
What's going on over there, look? See them all?
no.
See where the buoy is, behind it?
Yeah.
There's a flotilla of little boats heading this way.
Well, make sure you've got your best waving elbows on. Do you have waving elbows? It's,
So get it out of the holster. I'm ready.
You're not, because,
Well, yeah, the sheath's on at the moment. I can easily whip it off.
well, you said that, but you hadn't practiced your draw.
No,
Pathetic.
because the holster's new, so it's like it's a bit stiff getting it
Yeah.
in and out.
A poor
Oh.
gunman blames his holster.
No, it's not. Actually, I bet that was the case back in the day. You had to work a holster, get it. Anyway, look at them all.
What's the collective noun for paddling people?
Yeah, you know how I feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7 boats out there heading this way. What do they want?
They want your autograph, maybe?
Possibly, yeah. Well, they're not having it. Just put it on eBay. That's what they do now, isn't it? Can you sign this, please? Straight on eBay. What are you laughing at?
How much would your autograph fetch, do you think?
Thousands.
An inflated view of yourself.
No. They turn round.
They were threatened by your
Yeah,
axe wielding.
they saw it. They had the binoculars out and they was like, oh, better not go over there. Look.
He's a bit aggressive. I'm getting a bad feeling about this, Marjorie. Let's go home.
There's only one person that has pulled up here twice, and he's the guy that owns that island
The big
there,
island over there, yeah.
where the geese are on at the moment. I wonder if he's getting rent. They've been there quite some time now, squatters.
Quite noisy, aren't they? That sound travelling over the water like that. It's been ages since anyone was around. Strange to hear other people's voices.
It's bizarre how it carries over the water, isn't it? I mean, look where they are, how far away they are. They're like a mile away, and you can still hear them talking. We're going to do a what's it, aren't we? Because, not at this moment, but about 2-3 weeks ago, we had a huge amount of new subscribers. We had about 3,000 new subscribers in the matter of a week, 2 weeks. And when that happens, you get a wave of the same questions coming in the comments. And the comments now, it's getting to the stage where I know people don't expect their comments to be answered, but there are some questions that come our way, and the same questions are coming up again and again and again and again and again. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a proper short one-off answering all those questions. You know, how did you get there? Did you buy the place? You know, what's the other ones that come up?
How'd you make a living?
How'd you make a living? Anyway, the same ones. There's probably about 10 questions that come up all the time. So we're going to do a one-off of these and just answer them all, and then we can just refer people to that episode. Easy to do a cut and paste than it is to... Because we don't like not replying to people. You think it's rude, but it is getting to the stage now where we can't reply to every... Who's that, Jeeves?
Gesundheit, Jeeves.
Jeeves, what's up with you? Leave your snuff alone. Well, he's always at it.
Sick. It's a filthy habit, Jeeves.
Jeeves.